Hello again, I'm Tristan Gutner from Tristan Gutner Coaching. In this video, we are talking about how to recognize the opportunities to both grow your business and your visibility. And I want to start with something a little bit unconventional because I think it's quite important here. Recognize this: a part of you does not want to see or recognize those opportunities. I know that might sound strange, but here's what I mean about that. Do you remember the conversation we had in the earlier video about the subconscious mind and how it functions? This is some additional information so you can really understand the inner workings of your own mindset and how they affect what's going on in your business and how they affect you showing up as the leader that you are. So the subconscious mind, as it understands its function, it sees its function as it is here to keep you alive. It's connected to the reptilian brain that's 2 million years old when we used to be chased around by saber-toothed tigers, and it still sort of functions the same way. So it sees its job as to keep you alive right now. It's not thinking about a minute from now. It's not thinking about a month from now. It's not taking the future into account. What it's really doing is sort of scanning your environment and trying to assess threat. So that means the following. If you were alive and relatively safe right now, which you are if you're watching this video, the subconscious is thinking to itself, great, we've done our job. Now our job is to make sure we don't change any of these circumstances because the current circumstances provide safety. And if we change the circumstances, what's going to happen is unpredictable and may end up posing a threat. So a simple way to say that, or to condense that, is to say this. The subconscious is change averse. It is risk averse. It wants to keep you exactly where you are, which is quite challenging if you are committed to growing, to building a business, to building your leadership and growing as a leader in your community. To have some part of you that wants to consistently pump the brakes every time you get going can be quite a challenge. So the subconscious is designed to keep you safe, and it's designed to keep your life right where it is. So we're talking here about how to recognize the opportunities to grow your business and to grow your visibility. This is how the subconscious sort of shows up. When opportunities to grow present themselves to you, you will see them based on your subconscious material. You will see them, as Napoleon Hill puts it, as either misfortune or temporary defeat. That means that you'll be in a situation in your business and you'll be excited to grow. You'll be looking for opportunities to do that. You'll feel excited. And things are going to show up from the outside that look like misfortune or temporary defeat. It might be an employee quitting. It might be your overhead increasing dramatically overnight. It might be an account or a client falling away unexpectedly. Ultimately, all of those moments are opportunities for you and your business to grow, and probably to grow beyond what your mind is even willing to comprehend or imagine. But on the surface, they look like misfortune or temporary defeat. This is where the subconscious piece comes in. Remember, your subconscious mind wants you to stay exactly where you are. So when an opportunity to grow shows up, your subconscious takes it upon itself to make that opportunity look like a threat. So sometimes it'll be something a little more overt, like hemorrhaging cash in some particular way, an employee leaving, some opportunity falling through. Sometimes, though, it'll look like a way. Let's say it like this. I'm going to just give you an example. I think that's a little easier. Let's say you have a business that would profoundly benefit from media exposure, from getting on the news, getting in a newspaper, getting in print somewhere. But deep down, you are terrified to either be on video or to be in print or to be interviewed. You have a fear of public speaking or of visibility at some level. So this opportunity shows up to take your business in front of thousands or millions of people, but your subconscious is going to come in and start barking at you and go, hey, what if you look stupid? What if you get up there and you don't know what to say? What if people think you're an idiot? So this thing that's an amazing opportunity suddenly starts to present itself or appear as a threat. And once your subconscious gets you to see it as a threat, you will be much more unlikely to move towards it, to seize it as the opportunity to grow and to use it to move forward, to leverage your business, to build your business and your brand. So this is where the faith piece comes in. And by the way, I'm not saying faith based on any religious denomination at all. I just mean the actual definition of the word, which is believing in something that you can't yet see the results of or the truth of is in your environment. So we talked about Wallace Wattles' 4 steps: have a vision, have a purpose, faith, and gratitude. This is where the faith piece comes in. When a problem shows up in your business or in building your business, you're now armed with the information that oftentimes when opportunities show up, they look like problems. They look like misfortune or temporary defeat. You're now armed with that information. So how you can now use faith is to go, okay, there's a problem, but I know that when problems show up, it's actually an opportunity to move forward in my business. And this is a moment where you get to go into a solution-oriented perspective. I'm not going to look at this as a problem. I'm committed to looking at this as an opportunity, as a moment to grow, and as something that must have a solution to it. It has to. There's a solution to everything. If you're willing to change that perspective, you then go into it in this more, again, non-denominationally. You're going to go into it more faith-based. Life generally supports life. There must be a solution here. What is it? Where is it? So just consider how different that experience would be. Consider a moment in your life, even right now, where you feel like you're doomed to fail or something's going to go wrong, something you're a little bit afraid of or worried about. Imagine how different it would be to look at that and go, there has to be a solution here. I wonder where it is. I can't wait to find out what it is. You're immediately so much more receptive to recognizing the opportunities to grow or the solutions to take you forward. I hope that makes sense. Please, if it does not, or it's a little bit confusing, please reach out and let me know how I can make that even clearer for you. So there's a really famous story. I'm going to pull this again from Think and Grow Rich. A really famous story here. All sorts of people in business and personal development talk about this. And often people call it the 3 feet from gold story. So the very short version is there was someone mining for gold. I think it was in Colorado, but don't quote me on that. And they had bought very expensive equipment. They had hired all these scientists to show them exactly where the gold vein would be. They drilled and drilled and drilled, and they didn't hit anything. And long story short, they gave up. Someone else bought the rights to that area and to mine there. And literally, they had stopped 3 feet short, slightly bigger, but 3 feet short, from one of the biggest gold veins that had ever been discovered. So the idea here is they were met with this misfortune or temporary defeat. It wasn't working. They weren't finding gold. Even though the scientists said, it will be there, keep going. All the research they had done suggested it was there, but they got to this point of discomfort where it looked like it wasn't working. And instead of leaning in and going, there has to be a solution here, they closed shop, they wrapped it up, and they hightailed it out of there because they didn't want to fail. They didn't want it to become more expensive. So the idea again here is the opportunity was right in front of them. They would have been rich beyond their wildest dreams for generations upon generations upon generations in their family. But when things got uncomfortable, instead of leaning in, they leaned out and they got out. They wanted to cut their losses. Is there a time to cut your loss in business? For sure. But the overwhelming majority of people are looking for the first opportunity to quit because it is scary to continue moving forward. So this is where you bring in faith. This is where you go, there has to be a solution. Where is it? And the idea here is this. You can have the opportunity to learn to get uncomfortable, or rather get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You can learn to get uncomfortable. Pardon me, I really want to say that backwards. You can learn to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because remember from the first video here, you being the business leader you are here to be, it's going to require you to grow and grow and grow. That never stops. Growth is uncomfortable. We have to do things we've never done before. Most people use that to represent misfortune or temporary defeat. It didn't work. I don't know how to do it. And they close up shop and they leave. But all of these moments are opportunities. So the quicker you can just decide, I am going to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Therefore, I can sit in the discomfort. I'm willing to wait while it looks like things aren't working and stay solution-oriented and filled with faith the whole time so I can recognize the opportunities to grow. Does that make sense? If that was too fast, just rewind it, listen to it again. This is so important. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because here's what happens. The subconscious will use discomfort to get you to stop. It will ratchet up the sense of discomfort so high that you go, man, I would rather just not attain my vision than to continue to experience this discomfort. So your job, you're now armed with all this information. Your job as things get uncomfortable is to stay the course. Your job is to go, hey, things are getting uncomfortable. I must be on the right track. I wouldn't be getting uncomfortable if I wasn't getting closer and closer and closer to an opportunity, which is currently looking like misfortune or temporary defeat. Because remember, your subconscious wants you to stop. It wants your life, your business to stay exactly where it is because it's predictable and it's safe. So it will make any opportunity to move forward look like something threatening. And it will do that by starting to ratchet up the discomfort higher and higher and higher until you can't take it. So make a decision here and now. I am comfortable being uncomfortable. There is going to be a solution to every challenge I face in my business, and I am available to receive that solution because I'm going to be focused there rather than on the problem. And when you're willing to stay the course, you will see incredible opportunities show up. I have seen this time and time again with people I've worked with. I've seen it in my own business where someone's back was completely against the wall or my back was against the wall where I needed to come up with cash really quick to solve some problem in my business, where I started to constrict or one of my clients started to constrict. And once we could slow it down and go, wait a minute, there has to be an opportunity here. Let's just slow down and look. Where is it? I'm so curious. The opportunity showed up and I have seen literally tens of thousands of dollars show up in a place that looked like it was going to be misfortune or defeat. It was actually an opportunity, but we had to change our perspective in order to see it. So stay in the discomfort and remain solution oriented. Now, a quick caveat. I'm not suggesting to not be realistic. If something really isn't working in your business and needs to be changed, of course, change it. But you have to set a precedent that just because things feel uncomfortable or tricky or you don't know how to do something, you're not going to use that as a reason to slow down or to stop or to quit. So here are some steps to start being able to really recognize opportunities. Turn your radar on high alert for when things get uncomfortable. Because when they get uncomfortable inside yourself, when they get uncomfortable, it is an indication that you have the opportunity to grow. And as you grow, you will see the opportunities to take your business forward, oftentimes very, very, very quickly. So turn your radar on high alert for any time you get uncomfortable and train yourself when you get uncomfortable to say, okay, great, this is an opportunity to grow. There must be an amazing solution somewhere and I'm willing to find it. Just that change in perspective will change so much for you. Ask yourself this when you start to get uncomfortable. What is the action I least want to take here? I.e., what is the most uncomfortable thing for me to do here? Typically, that is going to be the step that would yield you the quickest result. Typically, the opportunity lies behind that step. Again, your subconscious is making that thing so uncomfortable that it's the thing you least want to do because it's the thing that would actually change your life and your business the most quickly. So your subconscious is trying to mask it to make it look like something very threatening or scary. The opportunities are always around you. Again, if we go back to Think and Grow Rich, because I think it's a pretty good reference point, one of the things that all of these very, very, very successful people say is like the opportunities were around me the whole time, but I couldn't see them. Once I started to see them, it was like an embarrassment of riches. I couldn't believe that they had been there the whole time and I just couldn't see them. Again, we can't see them in the moment because they are cloaked by the subconscious as something that looks threatening. So just be aware of that. So when something shows up in your business or in your life that looks like a misfortune or temporary defeat, how much more fun would it be to look at that and go, oh my God, that has to be an opportunity. Let's peel back the layers here and peel back the veil and look beyond it and see what the opportunity actually is. And the last piece is this. Ask yourself this, either when you feel stuck in your business or when you're just ready to grow. If I was not worried about the opinions of others and I was not worried about money, what would I do? Because those are the two things most people will use to stop. They will be worried about what happens if they fail and other people see them fail, or what happens if they make a costly mistake financially. Those are the two things that the subconscious will typically leverage to get you to stop. So when you want to know what the next step is, give yourself this exercise. If I didn't care at all what anybody thought of me ever, and I had a blank check from the universe, I had $1 billion in the bank, whatever it might be for you, what would I go do to take my business forward? What's the next step? And when you give yourself the freedom to think like that, typically the next step will present itself. You'll see the opportunity to grow, to gain visibility, to take your business, your product, your service to all the people who need to receive it. I've seen this strategy work over and over again, and I have complete confidence that if you use it, it will show you where you need to go. I hope this has been really helpful. Please reach out with any questions. I'm happy to help any way I can. Again, I'm Tristan Gutner from Tristan Gutner Coaching, wishing you guys all the success in the world. I'll see you soon.